Alright, so I just came from watching Transformers 1. Transformers 1, which released in Sydney on September 11th. It is going to be releasing in the US on 20th, but I found a way to watch it, wink wink. And Transformers 1 is a 2024 American animated science action film. The ensemble voice cast includes Chris Hemsworth, Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key, Steve Buscemi, Laurence Fishburne, and Jon Hamm. The film depicts the origins and early relationship of Optimus Prime and Megatron and how they forever changed the fate of Cybertron. And it is the franchise's first theatrical animated feature film since the Transformers movie of 1986, which I've never seen that film. Now, let me tell you something. I went to watch Deadpool and Wolverine opening weekend. I even took a photo and put it on my channel. And when I was walking into the cinema, I remember seeing this huge poster for Transformers 1. And I was just like, oh man, just let this franchise just rest. Hollywood is always trying to milk and make something new out of the Transformers franchise. So when I went into this film, I was kind of meh. So this is going to be a non-spoiler review. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you any major details. First thing is that there are two main characters. There's obviously Optimus Prime and his friend. Now, Optimus is voiced by Chris Hemsworth. Actually, I saw the trailer for this film on Chris Hemsworth's YouTube channel. And Chris Hemsworth, basically, his voice acting is okay. I mean, he sounds a bit like Thor. There's a place in the movie where he's giving a speech, and it sounds like Thor giving a speech to the Avengers, but his voice acting was okay. However, his friend, the one who plays Megatron, Tyree Henry, D16, yeah, that dude is a fantastic voice actor in my opinion. His line delivery in this movie is insane. Sometimes there are actors who are just doing a good job, but others are just going above and beyond. And that actor, the one playing D16, Tyree Henry, he actually, I've seen him from where? From this Marvel movie called The Eternals, and also he's in the Godzilla films, like Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. He's there. So the first 45 minutes of this film, there's a lot of comedy that's being pushed in, which made me think that maybe this is a kids film and maybe I shouldn't be watching it because maybe it's geared towards kids. First 45 minutes, there's so much unnecessary humor, but after the 45-minute mark, it kind of becomes more serious-ish. And there's still some jokes, but it slows down. My introduction to Transformers was the Shia LaBeouf film. So if you're more familiar with Transformers, I don't know if Transformers are from a comic or they're from an animation or it's the toys. I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm a bit of a noob when it comes to Transformers. But I think how much you enjoy it is based off of how much you know Transformers. If you've been a Transformers fan since, I don't know, since God knows when, and you know everything about the toys and you know everything about the comics or whatever, then I think how much you enjoy is based off of how much you know about the source material. Because I think people love something or hate something based off of how well it adapts the source material. There is good humanization of the characters. You forget at some point that you're watching machines. Like when I watch the Shia LaBeouf movies with Megan Fox, I always remember these are machines. But now in this film, you're only watching the Transformers. There are no human characters. But the movie does a really good job in humanizing them. When I say humanizing them, I mean you write them like they humans would behave. So it is more of a human story, even though the Transformers are not human, right? This is an all Transformers movie, so for those of you who have always hated the human characters, congratulations. And I should mention that it's nice to see the origin of so much stuff. I think the point of this film was just to see the origin of so much stuff, the origin of so many things. I don't want to mention them because that would be spoilers, but you get to see origin of stuff. You will see so many Easter eggs, right? Especially if you're like a diehard. Like there's this one scene, this one isn't a spoiler. There's this one scene where Optimus is walking and then in the background you hear something like Dr. Ironhide come in, something like that. So if you remember the Transformers movies, Ironhide is he was part of the first team that was with Optimus, and I think he's the Doctor or something. like the body specialist or something. Yeah, something like that. I only have two issues with this film. Number one, it's a prequel, meaning that, of course, you know that the main character is never in any real danger. You know, that's the issue with prequels, is that you always know, if this character is here in this film and they're in another film, then it means obviously they don't die. And that always lowers the stakes of the film. Because I'm like, whatever, he won't die anyway because he's in that other film, you know. And then number two, the pacing in the like the first, let's say, 30 minutes of the film was a bit fast for me. This is just a personal nitpick. It was a bit fast for me. Stuff was happening so fast. I felt like I was having whiplash. You know, like stuff is happening so quickly. I'm like, whoa, slow down a bit so that I can think about whether what you're telling me makes sense or not. And that's why I'm saying, if you're just looking to watch something, this is a good, decent watch. However, if you're like deep into the Transformers lore, you might be watching it while trying to comb through all the details. Me, all I can do is just simply nod when they tell me about, the Cybertron and energy this and core that. All I can do is just nod, because I can't dispute it, because my knowledge in the Transformers world is very limited. So I can't even dispute what you're saying, because I only started watching Transformers when the Shia LaBeouf movies came out. So in my opinion, there are only like three really good Transformers films. One, two is kind of Revenge of the Fallen is but 1 and 3 are pretty good. After that, 4, 5, and whatever comes after is mostly in my eyes. And Bumblebee was also pretty good. I should also mention that it's nice to see Transformers transforming again. If there was something that used to irritate me, was how Transformers in like the first movie, you used to see them like transform. Then like in the fourth movie, they just turn into like this dust. They just turn into this like CGI dust, and then they transform into something else. I was like, come on, you can't be that lazy. But at least now in this Transformers one, you get to see them transform properly. So that's pretty good. It's nice to see that. I don't have many complaints about this film. Like I said, you can only take this movie apart depending on how much you know Transformers. If you know very little, then you just sit and enjoy. I think it's something that can be watched by the whole family. Out of 10, I give it an 8. I found it to be pretty good, even as a person who's not super high invested in Transformers, and as a person who kind of went into this thinking that it would just be some cash grab. No, I think it was decent. I give it an 8 out of 10. If you've watched this, give me your thoughts and comments. Smash like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this review. And I'll leave other movies, recent ones, reviews here. I'll see you in the next one.